Yeah, so the accuracy is a little bit different, 64-71 compared to the last game, and Black's had one brilliant move, but White's had 5 good moves. Yeah, and if you look at the graph, it was sort of fairly even for the first third of the game. White was winning for the middle part of the game, and then Black started winning, then it evened up, and then Black sort of finally won. Still, let's see what happens.
Grabbing the center, a textbook way of starting the game. Opening up the dark squared bishop and seizing the center. Attacking the central pawn with the knight. Defending and developing in the same move. In the Scotch game, White gains space in the center and attacks the black center pawn. Trading pawns is the standard move in the Scotch. Bishop c4 develops the bishop to an active square, attacks the f7 pawn and prepares castling.
So all book moves so far.
Usually other pieces are developed before the queen for safety.
And that isn't a book move.
This allows the opponent to force the loss of castling rights. The best option was to castle kingside. The best option was to force the loss of castling rights. The better move was to castle kingside. This permits the opponent to win a tempo by threatening a bishop. The better move was to win a tempo by threatening a bishop. Only one good move here, and White spotted it. Castling kingside tends to be safer than queenside, because the king is further from the center. Both kings are castled and ready for the middle game. There were worse moves, but also something much better. The best option was to centralize a knight so it controls more squares. This allows the opponent to recapture and activate a knight at the same time. White combines recapturing with the development of a new piece. This offers an equal trade of pieces. White will be winning material with that fork. Great find. This was the only move that works. This allows the opponent to force doubling of castle pawns. The best option was to recapture a knight. This forces the opponent to double castle pawns. A clear recapture. The better move was to attack the knight with a pawn. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. A clear recapture. The best option was to move a rook to a more active position. This misses a better way to evade the check from the opposing knight. The best option was to bring the last piece into the game. This defends the attacked pawn. This mobilizes the knight, allowing it to control more of the board. This prepares the bishop for development. The better move was to move a rook to a more active position. This loses a pawn.
That loses a pawn. Let's have a look. So if I could go up here to explain.
This will lead to losing a pawn.
So you have to move your knight out of the way.
White will have only this move available.
Don't see why you need to move your knight there.
This will move the bishop to safety.
Oh, I see, yes, that's where you lose a pawn.
White will have only this move available. This will lead to losing a pawn. This loses a pawn.
Yeah, so by putting you in check,
This will lead to losing a pawn.
my bishop is still hanging, but you're attacking the pawn on c7, so I've got that. Right, so back to the game, and I've just put you in check.
The better move was to move a bishop to safety.
Sorry,
This loses a pawn.
I'm just going back. Right, so that's where he was.
A forced move. No other option on the board. The better move was to move a bishop to safety.
So yeah, by counter attack, by attacking your castle, but that is still losing 6 points for 5.
That was a free bishop. This stops the opponent from being able to force eventual checkmate. This is the strongest option. A straightforward recapture. This defends a pawn that was under attack and had no defenders. A strong choice. A solid choice. Very strong play. This kicks a bishop. This move puts the bishop on a safer square. This defends the attacked pawn. Putting the knight on a blockade square. Right on target. One of the best moves. This activates the king in the endgame by getting it off of the back rank. This move puts the knight on a safer square. This steps away from the checking knight. This move puts the knight on a safer square. This steps away from the checking knight. This takes an outpost, a square where the knight cannot be kicked out by a pawn. This steps away from the checking knight. This is the strongest option. This permits the opponent to force eventual checkmate.
Oh, look at that. So, White has checkmate in 4 moves. So let's see if we can see that then.
This permits the opponent to force eventual checkmate. With the right follow-up, this will lead to checkmate. Black will apply pressure to White's pawn chain. This will continue the checkmate threat. The passed pawn will move toward its goal. This will continue down the road to checkmate. Black will have only this move available.
So that's the checkmate.
This will the passed pawn. This will Black will apply pressure to White's pawn chain. With the right follow-up, This permits the opponent to force eventual checkmate. This permits the opponent to force eventual checkmate.
So we're back in the original position. But yeah, I don't know whether there's whether that's, can't really sort of work that out, whether it's a false checkmate or not. Well, let's see now. Can't go there because of that pawn. Can't go there because of that pawn. Can't go there. Can't go there. So yeah, my knight is actually, my king is actually trapped in that position. So moving this pawn forwards here would give me an escape route. So that's really the only move that I could see.
This permits the opponent to force eventual checkmate.
Again, that's the only move for me.
With the right follow-up, this will lead to checkmate.
Right, so let's look. So white's move is...
Black will apply pressure to white's pawn chain.
So white goes there. I can't go here, here, here. Can't go there, and I can't go there. Yeah, so again, my king is now trapped. So yeah, it is looking like it is a forced checkmate.
This will continue the checkmate threat.
Yeah, so pushing that pawn forwards again means that I can escape here to this square here.
The passed pawn will move toward its goal.
And of course I've only got the one square to go.
This will continue down the road to checkmate. Black will have only this move available.
Yeah, so that's it, checkmate in 4. So that is right, but very difficult one to see, but that's pretty interesting. So I've just clicked and we've gone back to the original game.
This is the strongest option. This permits the opponent to force eventual checkmate.
Right, so we should be back on the game now.
With the right follow-up, this will lead to checkmate.
So, saying that you did make that move.
This attacks white's pawn chain.
And I made that move.
A forced checkmate was available here, but the chance was missed. A forced move, no other option on the board. That's fine. A forced move, no other option on the board. Applying pressure to black's pawn chain. A strong choice. This allows the opponent to create a passed pawn. This makes a passed pawn. Black was better off, but now their position is winning. This stops the opponent from being able to win a rook by overloading a defender. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. A clear recapture. Putting the rook on a blockade square. This steps away from the checking rook. White's knight has moved to a square with greater activity and control. Right on target. This move puts the bishop on a safer square. The best option was to push a passed pawn. Only one good move here, and white spotted it.
Nice.
This evades the check from the bishop. The best option was to use a rook to counter a passed pawn. This allows the opponent to sacrifice a rook for a nice tactic. This evades the check from the bishop.
Just want to listen to that last comment again.
The best option was to use a rook to counter a passed pawn. This allows the opponent to sacrifice a rook for a nice tactic. The best option was to sacrifice a rook for a nice tactic. Only one good move here, and white spotted it. This move sets up a fork on two valuable targets. This steps away from the checking rook. Great find. This was the only move that works. This defends a knight that was under attack and had no defenders. This evades the check from the rook. Only one good move here, and white spotted it. A strong fork hits two targets at the same time. This steps away from the checking rook. This misses a better way to defend a knight that was under attack. This is not the right idea.
Wonder why. I'm going to hit the explain button here.
This is not the right idea. This will defend a bishop that was under attack and had no defenders. This will evade the check from the rook. With the right follow-up, this will win material through a discovered check. Black will step the king away from the checking rook.
Yeah, that's quite a nice tactic.
This will win material through a discovered check.
So I'll click on got it. We go back to the game.
This misses a better way to... This is not the right idea. This leads to losing a bishop. This evades the check from the rook. This calmly removes the bishop from an immediate threat. The passed pawn moves towards its goal. That was a free pawn. This threatens to deliver a ladder mate.
So it's still not checkmate at this point.
The best option was to activate the king by getting it off of the back rank. This permits the opponent to sacrifice a rook for a nice tactic.
Yeah, so although once I get the queen it's pretty much game over, does give you the opportunity to stay in the game.
The rook was sacrificed, a stunning move.
Aha, brilliant move.
This permits the opponent to deliver a ladder mate, wrapping up the game with a classic ladder mate.
Well, that was quite an interesting review, that was. But yeah, sort of reviewing it, the first game I think was a better game for both of us. Excellent.